So here's an area where there's a couple different bucks we know of that we'd like to get. I did kind of a hybrid version of the poor man's food plot. I actually ran the bean drill in here before, and it's part of my ag field, but I tucked this little area away, and there is very little options for tree stands up here where the intrusion is minimal. So I put one up there. I actually hung a few cedars up there, fastened them down, and we just did not have a lot of options. And what I did here is I just sprayed this down, and I took some treated urea, and I also put some chicken manure on here earlier, but I added a little treated urea just with my hand seeder to give some more nitrogen down here. But I burned this down, and it did a really effective job. So I've got I own some of the timber there, and I'm actually purposely kind of staying away from it in this example, just so I can be as least intrusion as possible, and I'll blow my wind over some previous cattle area and some fenced area over there. So kind of a small plot. I generally spend most of my time hunting in the timber during the rut with a bow, but this is just another option that changes things up and gives me a pretty slick location that's hidden from everything to pop in and out of, and have a variety of food sources here. So we're going to put down some big and beastie, and then we're also going to put some clover in. And just because I am really taking the poor man's approach today, I'm going to seed it a little bit heavier through this thatch, and then I'm just going to drive over it with a gator. And if I need to freshen it up later and add a little more seed, I will, but I think it'll actually do pretty well at a little bit higher rate, and we're going to do that. So we've got about 3 different food sources right here in one plot. A lot of times when you're dealing with the poor man's plot, you are giving something up. Right here, this is a lot more thatch than I would like on the ground. I'm going to work around it. It's not ideal. In this situation, I just hauling the equipment over here, I just said I'm going to try something, and usually I can get this to work, but this is more thatch than what I'd like. Now, I could burn this, and just my preference is I don't burn it because I like all the organic matter on the top. Now, it will be harder for those plants to get through, and that's why I'm going to go a little more aggressive on my seeding rate. I guess if I had all the tools at a very basic level, I would like to run a harrow over this just to open some of this thatch up, but this thatch is going to act like a mulch and keep some moisture in the soil, so that's why I don't want to burn it up. I don't want to burn up my organic matter, and I don't want to burn up my mulch. Probably the most common weed in your brassicas would be grass, and you're going to want to spray clethodim and crop oil, and that'll kill your grasses. So basically about 2 to 3 weeks after germination, so once you get a rain, stuff starts coming up. If you got grasses, clethodim and crop oil is going to be your biggest tool there. There is a pre-emergent you can use with brassicas. Treflan, tree flan would be one of them, and it's not real commonly used, but you can look into that, read the label. You can find it at places like Keystone Pest Solutions, but tree flan or treflan is an option for a pre-emergent. So I would say the most common thing though is going to be your post-emergent control when you get grasses in there, and again, clethodim and crop oil on your grasses. Last little reminder on your brassicas or even autumn quick plot, once these beans start to yellow, just walk through them, seed in there. You can supplement some treated urea in here to add some fertility, or do it before rain, regular urea before rain. But really thin down beans, you can do it now. Otherwise, when the beans yellow, that's a great time to add something like an autumn quick plot, or really any of these will do pretty well scattered in some really thin beans or yellowed beans.